If you have recently been diagnosed with an illness, or if you are someone who is constantly in this state of fear, I want to encourage you to do a few things. Now, the first thing usually, like when you go see a doctor and they diagnose an illness, the first thing they say to you is, they start to tell you what kind of treatment protocol is available for you. They say, okay, these are the treatment options. This is the effectiveness of how it works. And you feel even more fear because you don't know a lot about this, about drugs and medicines. And so you give your power away to the doctor. You're reliant on what they're saying. What I tell people is, if you're diagnosed with something, before the doctor even talks to you about the treatment protocols, here's what I want you to do, especially if you're someone who's super sensitive or super empathic. The number one thing I want you to do is to ask yourself this question: what am I taking on that feels like a burden that I wish I hadn't taken on? What am I doing right now? So this is the number one thing. What have I taken on? What are the things I'm doing right now that I wish I wasn't doing? What are the things that I've taken on that are not mine? Like, whose problems, whose issues am I trying to help solve that are not mine? Because people who are super sensitive and empathic, also many of us who are people pleasers and doormats, we tend to say yes even when we want to say no. So basically what you're asking yourself is, where have I said yes when I have wanted to say no? What have I taken on that I haven't wanted to? So what I would suggest, so this is the number one thing, is make a list of all those things. Just make a list of them and then slowly cut them out of your life. And even if you think, oh my God, this one is hard, it's my job, I can't leave my job, I'll die because I won't make money. Now, listen, if you hate your job and it's making you stressful, it's going to affect your health anyway. So you are much better off starting to look at other possibilities of what to do for work. You won't regret it. Even if you leave your job and take that risk, you will find that you will feel so much lighter while you are looking for something to do. And that's if you hate your job. So the number one thing, as I said, is ask yourself, where am I saying yes instead of no? Or what am I taking on that's not mine? The number two thing to do is to get passionate about life again. And the way to get passionate about life again is to choose love over fear. See, the thing is, when love exists, or I call joy, passion, purpose, all these, I put them in the same category as love. When you love yourself and you love your life, you make your choices of life, your jobs, the things you do every day, you make those choices from a place of love, from a place of passion, from a place of, is this my calling? Is this my purpose? Those are the things I want you to find, because when you are focused on your passion, on your calling, on what brings you joy, when you're focused on those things, then you can't focus on fear. Your mind can only focus on fear or love, one or the other. It can't focus on both. So if you're feeling fear, start asking yourself, how can I focus more on love? An easy way is to get together with a bunch of people who you love, who make you feel loved. And really, I mean people who make you feel loved, not people who make you feel drained. The way to even know whether people make you feel loved or drained is ask yourself, when I am with these people, can I truly be myself? Can they even see me in my pajamas or the clothes I wear at home? Or do I find I have to get dressed up and put my makeup on? If you find that you have to get dressed up and you have to behave a certain way, then that means those people are draining you. They are not the people you can completely relax with, who accept you for who you are. So you need to really get in touch with the people who accept you for who you truly are and make you feel loved. And you also need to start to find your passion and really live your life fully. So that is basically the second thing that you need to do if you are the kind of person that I have been describing, who is a super empath, or if you are dealing with an illness right now. So it's about finding your joy in life. It's about finding your tribe, the people who you resonate with, who you can be yourself. You don't have to be someone else. It's about finding your calling. When you allow yourself to be who you are, your purpose, your calling unfolds before you. That's what comes to you. But when you're not being yourself, when you're in a job you hate or hanging out with people who you're pretending to keep up with, then your purpose doesn't unfold because you're not being who you are. When you're not being who you are attracting things that are not you. They're not who you are. It's as simple as that. So basically, getting passionate about your life is about starting to become who you are and learning who you are again. So that's number 2. Number 3, and this one's also really important because so many people who seem to suffer from chronic illnesses, and so many people who are empathic and who are doormats and who are givers, you're very good at giving and giving of yourself, but you're terrible at receiving. So number 3 is learn to receive. Learn to receive and spend time with people who you feel comfortable receiving from. So the way to get into the habit of receiving is to first receive from yourself. Take time out for yourself and don't hesitate. You don't have to apologize. This is another way to learn to receive. Don't apologize for who you are. Don't apologize for needing time to rest. Don't apologize for taking time for yourself. And with that time, do something that is completely pleasurable, not work. It's not about catching up on work or catching up on pleasing other people. No, it's really about receiving. Go soak in that hot tub, or go watch that movie you've been meaning to watch, or binge watch that TV series that you've been meaning to watch. You've always wanted to, but you never had time. So take time out every day, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's 1 hour, whatever you can. If at this time it's only 15 minutes, take that time out and call it, this is my time to receive the gifts of the world, the universe. Even if it's to go alone for a walk, or to meditate, or listen to music. Because when you take that time out, that's actually when your higher self or the universe, that's when it's able to communicate with you and give you gifts. Do you know the universe is connected to you, or your higher self, or God, or whatever you want to call it? It's connected to you all the time. It's trying to heal you. It's trying to give you messages. It's trying to give you gifts. But do you know why you don't see them? Because you don't know how to receive. You've closed your receiving channels. You're so busy doing, being, pleasing everybody, and afraid to disappoint people, and afraid of being selfish, that you've lost the ability to receive. But don't worry, it's really easy to get that ability back. And it starts with recognizing that you don't know how to receive. Are you someone who undersells yourself? Do you work for free? And do you actually give your services for free a lot and you're afraid to charge? You're exactly that type of person. You need to learn to receive. And that is so important. And so, as I said, it starts with doing something kind for yourself every day. So start with that, and then move on to accepting compliments from people, accepting things that people do for you, And one of the things that people who can't receive, we have this habit that if somebody gives you a gift, if someone does something for you, immediately your thought is about, how can I repay them? What can I do back for them? But so what I want to invite you to do is, if someone gives you a gift, I want you to accept it and enjoy the gift. Don't spoil that gift by trying to figure out how to repay them or how to do something in return. You've spoiled the moment. You've spoiled the gift by turning it into a burden. So in fact, what you've done is you've done a disservice to the giver of the gift, because you've turned their gift into a burden for you, thinking that now how do I repay them? No, just enjoy the gift and tell yourself the gift to them is to accept their gift and enjoy it and not turn them into a burden. Because just think about this. Imagine if every single person that you have gifted or you have done things for, imagine if they felt it was a burden, how awful that would feel for you. So this is why I want you to know that when someone gives you a gift, they're giving it to you because you have already done something that has moved them or touched them or done something that has caused them to react in this way. So they are repaying you. So accept it and enjoy it. And slowly, as you do these things of learning to receive gifts, and when someone compliments you, don't brush it off. Just say, thank you, I appreciate it. Don't say, oh, no, I'm not like that. No, don't brush it off. Receive, and remind yourself every day, I need to learn to receive. I need to take time out for myself and not apologize. When someone gives me a gift, accept it. I don't have to take it as a burden. So that's number 3, and I'll real quickly recap on all 4 things soon. Number 4 is, this applies to you if you were dealing with an illness. The 4th thing to do is to go back and figure out your treatment choices. So in other words, if you're dealing with an illness, in order of importance, I would put figuring out what to do about in terms of treatment choices, I would rank that as number 4. So I would definitely, like the way the current paradigm is, the medical paradigm is, we put treatment choices as number 1. And then all we do is we start our treatment protocols, but we continue to be the person we used to be. We continue to be a people pleaser and take on everybody's burdens. We continue to hate our lives and hate our jobs and hate everything. We continue to give and not know how to receive, and all this while we are going through the treatment choices. This doesn't heal us from the soul level. So this is why I say, if you are going through an illness, if you are living a life of fear, although things like foods and things like that, diet, protocol, all that will help you, I feel these other 3 things are more important. Number 1 is, where am I saying yes instead of no, and what am I taking on that's not mine? Number 2 is about getting passionate about life again and choosing love over fear and finding your purpose. Number 3 is learning to receive. And number 4 is about whether it's treatment protocols or whether you don't need any medical treatment, but you want to clean up your diet and you want to detox. By all means, do all of those things. But those other 3 things are actually more important to truly heal you on a soul level. Now, when it comes to food and diet and treatment, let's say you are dealing with an illness and it comes to choices of treatment. When I was given all the choices of the treatments, I was feeling extremely confused, and I'll tell you why. Because my friends who were more in the alternative therapies, they would tell me, you absolutely cannot do chemotherapy because that you're putting toxins in your body when you are already sick. you're already sick, and you cannot, and you're sick because you have toxins in your body. You can't add to the toxins with chemotherapy because that's even more toxic. Now, so when I went for the alternatives, because I believed that chemotherapy is putting toxins in my body, so I went for the alternatives and I turned down chemotherapy. However, all the doctors, and I'm not blaming them, doctors work hard, they were very wonderful, they were very respectful, but all the doctors were telling me that I am killing myself if I don't do chemotherapy. They said I am going to die and I'm not making a wise choice. And my friends who had cancer, who was going through chemotherapy, and many other friends, they were all saying I was crazy not to do the chemotherapy. So on the one hand, I felt if I did chemotherapy, my alternative friends were making me feel fearful, the ones who believed in alternative care. And if I did the alternative care, the ones who believed in chemotherapy was making me fearful. So at first I tried the alternative. Even within the alternative, there was so much information that I got really confused, because everything would contradict each other. And so, for example, if I was doing Ayurveda, I was supposed to be vegetarian, but I was allowed to have dairy. But if I was doing traditional Chinese medicine, I was supposed to have meat and not be vegetarian, but no dairy. If I was doing Western naturopathic medicine, which included, which was a vegetarian, but that was a pure raw vegan diet. And so as I would research each of these, because different people would say, oh, you have to try this. This cured my friend who had cancer. This worked really well. And so I would try it. And after a while, if it wasn't working, I would think, oh, that one probably works better. And so I would move to that one. And I was researching all these things, and I started to believe that everything caused cancer, like microwaves caused cancer, the fluoride in water caused cancer, plastic caused cancer. And so I was eliminating everything from my diet. Sugar, I eliminated sugar, and so many things. And I was living in fear. Fear of cancer, fear about food, just fear. So what I realized when I died, when I was on the other side, that the most important thing is to actually feel good about what you're doing. It's not about what you follow, but choose the one that makes you feel good. Choose the one that you believe in, and surround yourself with the people who will support your choices. Because the bigger issue is the fear, not actually what you're taking in. The bigger issue is the fear. It's the fear of what you're not doing. So today I would say, stop researching all that and tune in and ask your body. So it's not that I don't eat healthy things. I do. I actually do juicing, and I drink vegetable soups and all. But I tune into my body, because I don't like to eat raw, cold vegan food. I like to eat hot food. So I make lots of hot foods. I like to eat food that's slightly spicy. I put spices and turmeric and curry powder in my soups, and I make curries and things. But the main, and these are things I would have been afraid to eat back then, especially curries or rice. But the main thing I'm saying is that you can eat healthy, but ask your body, what does it want? What makes it feel good? What makes you feel good? And when you take care of yourself, if you eat that dessert, if you eat that piece of chocolate, if you go have that glass of wine or champagne when you're with your friends, it's not going to harm you. You need to relax about your food. We have become a culture that's very obsessive. You need to relax and know that actually the stress and the fear is doing your body more damage than any harmful foods. And that's really what I want you to know. So tune into your bodies, and remember, don't say yes when you want to say no. Find your purpose, find your passion for life, and choose from a place of love and not fear. And the most important thing, don't take life too seriously. Enjoy yourself, have fun. That is the most important thing. Live your life to the fullest. One of the things that death taught me is that death taught me how to live. So please don't die while you're still alive. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.